And one quick tip that I had said I would talk about in the longer video was about mailing stuff back to yourself that you don't need. You can do it, anytime during the race that you find something you don't need, too heavy, whatever, but you don't want to throw it away. If you're lucky enough to find a post office, you can mail some stuff back to yourself. And there's a few different options. There's a few places along the route that have big post offices that have the self-service kiosks where you can actually weigh your package and it will generate postage, and you can leave it there even if the post office isn't open. The self-service kiosks are usually in the lobby area where you can help yourself 24/7. Side tip, those are also usually air conditioned and a good place to take a nap if you are napping on the run. One thing about it though is if you buy a flat rate envelope in the post office, they will not generate a label for you unless you're going to mail it right then. They will give you postage. It's $6.60, I think is the postage, or $6.65 for the large priority mail flat rate envelope. What I did not realize is if you're going to use a stamp instead of the postal generated label with the, the metered postage, it can't weigh over 13 ounces. I was trying to wait until the very last minute to mail everything that I didn't need for the last day back to myself. So when I stopped at the post office in Manchester on the way through on Monday afternoon, and I could have easily gotten rid of several things in my pack right then at the post office and gone ahead and mailed it back with a postal label. I thought I wanted to just get one more thing or two more things in there and opted to just buy a stamp. I asked the lady at the counter, as long as the post office will accept it, I don't care whether it's a label or stamp. And she said, absolutely. She sold me a stamp. I took the envelope, went to my hotel, and packed a Ziploc baggie of dirty underwear and that power bank and a couple of other things that would fit in this without too much trouble. It's pretty well, I don't have this stuff in there now, but you can tell it's sealed down. I was able to reopen it without ripping the whole package up when I finally got it, getting to the point. If you choose to do that, again, make sure that what you put in there weighs less than 13 ounces. Mine weighed, according to this, 1 pound and 2.5 ounces. It was over 2 weeks after Vol State before this showed up, and I thought that the things I had mailed back I might as well have thrown away because I was sure they must have just been lost in the mail or the package had popped open and the things had been discarded or something. If you'll look, the stamp was never postmarked and it has a couple of labels on it now. Surface transportation only. And the blue one says, put on the reading glasses to tell you what it says. Attention mailing customer, we regret to inform you that your mail was not collected or is being returned to you due to heightened security concerns. And then it gives a list with a checkbox. Any mail that bears postage stamps and weighs more than 13 ounces. So even though this is a flat rate and they tell you if it fits, it ships for $6.60 or whatever, if it's a stamp, it can't weigh more than 13 ounces or they won't ship it. Luckily for me, I had used the same address that I wanted to receive the package at as my return address. So their only choice was to return this to the return address when it was collected in the mail. it just floated around in the post office for a couple of weeks before it made it back here. Fearful that it was some sort of terrorist bomb, when actually maybe dirty underwear could be considered a terrorist bomb. But that is all I can say is, just either mail it, just go ahead and deal with it and mail it there. And, one or two things just don't get to go back on that last day. Or the other thing you can do is, if you're staying at a hotel, ask if they have a business center or if the hotel will let you use their computer and printer. And you can generate a label on USPS.com once you're done, and print it and stick it on there, and that will suffice instead of a postage stamp. So mailing tips to lighten your pack, anytime you can discard something, it's probably a good thing. Just make however much time you have left a little bit better. So anybody that's planning to do Vol State next year, any year, I just want some tips about any multi-days. Hope this has been